Almighty God, creator and ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our counsels and actions, so that we may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria. The pledge. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity, and uphold her honor and glory. So help me God. Yes. Morning. Honorable colleagues, I have examined and approved the votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 30th June 2021. Honorable colleagues, I have an official communication from the Speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament. He will be visiting the House of Representatives on Wednesday, and will be addressing the House at 1 p.m. on Wednesday. He arrives on Tuesday, 6th of July, and he will be here for a few days. This is in continuation of the collaboration between the two parliaments that started last year. As you are all aware, Nigeria and Ghana have been involved in back and forth. We've been involved in diplomatic shuttles between the two parliaments and the two countries. So Wednesday, 1 p.m., the Speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament will be addressing us on the floor of the House. You will all be expected to be here. The Nigerian-Ghana Friendship Group, which was supposed to be set up, has been set up by the Ghanaian counterparts. That group will be inaugurated on Wednesday after the address by the Ghanaian speaker. That group comprises of the Nigeria-Ghanaian group, Honorable Mukhtar Zakari Chawai, will be inaugurated on Wednesday. Other friendship groups will follow. Notification of vacancy in the seat of Lere Federal Constituency held by our late brother and colleague, Honorable Suleiman Aliu Lere. Seat of Lere Federal Constituency of Cardinal at House Plenary on 13th April 2021. This notification is in fulfillment of Section 68(2) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and for the records. A letter will follow to INEC. So, inform and acknowledge that the Association of Persons with Disabilities in Nigeria will be present or are present here with us, and Coalition of Nigerian Youths are present here with us in the House. Are there any petitions? We're going to move rapidly, move very fast today. Hopefully, I'm not sure we'll be able to get through the order paper for today because we have very important issues that we need to go through. Honorable Henry.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues. Henry Nwaoba. The first one is from Rights and Misappropriation of Funds. And the petition from one of my constituents, Mr. Matthew Opara's family, who was murdered on the 25th of May. The deceased was a legitimate businessman specializing in aluminum and stainless steel business in Imo State, Nigeria. In the course of doing his legitimate business, he was gunned down, and with your kind permission, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Mr. Speaker. I rise to the late custom officer, Mr. Orire Hussein. To seek the intervention of the House for the payment of the entitlements of their husband by Nigerian Customs Service. Mr. Speaker, may I lay this petition?
You may lay your petition. Any other petition? Who are you?
Mr. Speaker, in Sonkame, I'm from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I have a petition from one of my constituents, Mr. Azigere Pinsway, against a petition against him that he is working in 2 agencies. Mr. Speaker, there was no verification before it is Mr. Hence, I have petitioned this House, Nigerian People's House, to seek justice. With your kind permission, Mr. Speaker, may I proceed to lay the petition? Thank you.
Yeah, please go ahead. Any other petition? Rev.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Francis Ejirogane Waive is my name, and I represent the entire people of Uwele North, Uwele South, and Udu. I'm from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I have a petition from leaders of IPMAN against the Inspector General of Police over harassments from the police in spite of a Supreme Court judgment. They've asked the intervention of the House to help to resolve the matter and stop this harassment. With your kind permission.
Any other petition? So we move on. All petitions refer to the Committee on Public Petitions. Honorable Fatoma, what's your motion?
Kindly permit me. I'm Honorable Fatoma Olushola, member representing Ado-Ekiti. Kindly permit me to stand on the Order 8 Rule 4 to allow me to move a motion of urgent public importance on the need to investigate those moves.
Okay, I know this permission was granted earlier, but for the sake of members, I must repeat that you know where this is not a motion of urgent public importance. Ordinarily, this should come on notice. It's not, it doesn't meet our definition of urgent public importance, but it's already been permitted because we only have a few days before we go on break. So.
Support the motion ably moved by Honorable Patova. I so support. Thank you. Second.
Thank you. The ayes have it. Move your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Fatoma Olushola, member representing Ado-Ekiti, the rep of the Felony Federal Constituency. I rise to move a motion on the need to investigate the planned privatization of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, power plants. The House notes that the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, NDPHC, as a private limited liability company, with shareholding fully subscribed to by the federal, state, and local governments, with a mandate to manage the National Integrated Power Project, NIPP. Also note that in 2005, the National Council of State, which statutorily belonged to the federal, states, and local governments. Further notes that the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited is the legal vehicle vested to manage the NIPP for its shareholders. The federal proposed privatization from developing renewable power generation projects. However, myriad and challenges that bedeviled the power sector mitigated against the effort. Also aware that in April 2021, the asset and considered a special budgetary intervention of $100 million for improved offtake of the sale of Niger Delta Power Holding Company, the proposed sale of 5 Ogun and Kogi states, that the assets under consideration do not belong exclusively to the federal government, but the 3 tiers of government. Concerned that the federal government did not take some vital under which the transactions will be implemented, as well as the laws related to procurement or disposal of shares and assets given the shareholding in the states and local governments. Also concerned that the Joint Transaction Board, which was created to handle the share sales transaction of National Independent Power Project power plants, did not approve the sale of 5 power plants. Cognizant that the BPE, being a statutory body, can only act in accordance with its enabling legislation, the Privatization Act, and considering that state government assets can only be disposed of in accordance to state law, the state government cannot validly accede to the application of federal legislation to the divestment of their ownership interest in the NIPP assets. Also cognizant of the need for Niger Delta Power Holding Company and BP to act in line with the original approved plan to reinvest, to suspend the sale of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited power plants until lingering issues on the matter are resolved, especially as regards ownership of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company. 2, to mandate the Committees on Power and Privatization and Commercialization to invest in the Niger action. I so move. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any seconder to this? Okay, seconder. Or we need you 1 second. All right.
Right Honorable Speaker, respected colleagues, I am Abdullah Saad Abdul Qadir, representing Ningi Warji, Federal Constituency of Bauchi State. I rise to second the motion moved by Honorable Fatova on the need to investigate the proposed sales of NIPP power projects in Nigeria. I so second.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honourable members, the first business of the day is presentation of report of the Committee on Police Affairs on the issuance from statutory budget of the Nigeria Police Trust Fund, the total sum of 773,601,916 naira 30 kobo only, out of which 9 is in nail cost and expenditure, and 63,757,712 each of the standing orders of the House of Representatives, standing in the name of Honorable Bello Usman Kumo. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Kumo is invited to present his report.
Usman Bello Kumo is my name. I represent the good people of Akko Federal Constituency. I'm from Gombe State. I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Police Affairs on the issuance of the statutory budget 3,601,916 naira 30 kobo only, out of which 988,279,006 naira only for personnel, while 15,610,310 naira 25 kobo is for overhead, whereas 11,15,899,316 naira 30 kobo is for recurrent, whereas 63,750,000 57,712,600 naira is for capital. Passions to order move.
Honorable Taiwo, please second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Kola Taiwo. I represent Ajeromi Federal Constituency. I rise to second the
Okay, ayes have it. And reports of the committee on Honorable Aminu Suleiman.
Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, and my name is Comrade Aminu Suleiman. I move that the House do receive the following bills as read, motion as read by the Speaker. That the House do receive the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act and to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology. Details as provided under. 3. That the House do receive the report of Katsina State and for related matters. 4. That the House do receive the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to amend the Federal University of Petroleum Resources (IPROM). Details as provided. 5. That the House do receive the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education to Umuneche, Abia State, to provide for full-time courses. Details as provided under. 6. That the House do receive the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal University of Technology, Ipokia, Ogun State. Details as provided under. 7. That the House do receive the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education, Omo Aran, to provide education and services under. That the House do consider the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education, Bende, my friend there, to provide full-time courses, details as provided under. That the House do receive the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services, Osun State, provide for the establishment of Federal University of Sports, Apuze, Edo State, details as provided. Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I hereby move.
Thank you. Engineer Sani, Sani Bala, can you please second?
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my names are Honorable Engineer Sani Bala, representing Kunchi Sanya Federal Constituency from Kano State. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by Chairman Tertiary Education, Right Honorable Comrade Aminu Guru. I so second.
Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Right on, Honorable Comrade Suleiman, please lay your report. Once a comrade, always a comrade. The third business of the day is presentation of 5 reports of the Committee on Public Pet.
Thank you, our wonderful speaker and colleagues. My name is Jerry Alabos. I'm from Imo State, representing our law also in federal constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to present the following reports. 1, that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Public Petitions by Finish the Jobless against Shell Petroleum Development Company, ABO, Nigerian Navy unlawful detention. 5, the committee reports that the House do receive the reports on a petition by Osage Bayemu on behalf of Alliance Plastics and Packaging Industry on that the House do receive the Nigerian Military Pensions Board.
Thank you.
Presentation of reports by Elder.
Honorable colleagues, even though we may have passed under our order paper the time for personal explanation, I will indulge the House to please allow one of our colleagues, Honorable Bob, to come up with his personal explanation. I believe there was an issue on the floor yesterday on local government, and I think 1 or 2 things may have arisen out of that, and he wants to make a personal explanation. Honorable Bob. Use the next mic.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I really appreciate this privilege. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Solomon Bob. I represent Abua Odua, Nahuda East Federal Constituency of Rivers State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to raise the points of personal explanation under Order 6 government. Since that comment yesterday, I've been assailed, with a lot of negative spin to my comments. People from my party have approached me and said that they were informed that I was on the floor to, attack a fellow party member for bringing a bill. And it was my duty. I was in disagreement with respecting that bill. My comment was on the general principle of constitutionalism. I explained what federalism was all about. I did not attack the bill, and I was the first to reach out to him when the bill passed. And I explained to him, unfortunately, I came in at a point, but it would have been also hypocritical of me to be on this floor and a bill that seeks to strengthen the local government system in Nigeria is being read. Employees all over the place campaign against me. They've gone to even former President Jonathan to campaign against me. They've threatened to recall me. I know they can't do that anyway, but they mounted a calumnious media campaign against me for speaking for federalism, for saying that local government should not be a feature of the federal constitution, and for saying that the whole concept of autonomy for local government is misconceived and a misnomer. That's what I said yesterday. So I appealed to my party members to understand where I came from. I wasn't against the bill per se. I was only explaining the principle of federalism. Mr. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Bob. I believe we all listened carefully to you yesterday, and I was here presiding. And to my mind, you were not opposing the bill. You were not opposing the autonomy or independence of local governments either. I guess it was just a question of miscommunication. Thank you for the personal explanation. The first order of the day is consolidation of two bills. Honorable members may wish to note that the bills are on the same subject matter. I now
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Samfulata. I represent Beniwa, Krika Samba, Kuri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move for the consolidation as two bills as follows. A bill for an act to amend the Firearms Act, Chapter F28, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to increase the fines, provide for strict prison terms and licensing fees, and for related matters, HB 1204, and a bill for an act to amend the Firearms Act, Chapter F28, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, and for related matters, HB 101. I saw.
Please, can you second?
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, my name is Francis Charles. I represent Ikorabas and Parani in the state of Bodo. I'm from Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that.
Those against me say nay. On the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, to provide for the inclusion of young persons and persons with disabilities in appointments in Nigeria, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 29th June 2021. And now, to grant me permission, I would ask the chairman business I'll yield this to him to move this.
To invite of the National Association of the Chairman of People with Disabilities to be here, to be admitted onto the chamber to witness this great event.
Honorable, do you want a second? The chairman disabilities is inviting you to, because this affects them. You want a second?
Mr. Speaker, I remain honorable to the Godwin Elmelu, and I represent the good people of Anyocho Shibili Federal Constituency, and I'm from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, before I second, you know very well that I have always championed the cause of the people living in disability. So seconding it is not an issue.
Thank you.
I rise to second the motion, ably moved by Olufemi Hakim Gbajabiamila by.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues.
Where is the president? Is he inside? Okay, he's been admitted. Thank you. Continue.
Can I carry on? Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, may I, on behalf of Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, move that a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to provide for inclusion of young persons and persons with disability in appointments in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 1375, be read the second time.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Magajida Waliu, member representing Bojubrunikudu from Jigawa State. I rise to second that the bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria 1999 is amended to provide for inclusion of young person and person with a disability in appointments in Nigeria and protected matters HB 1375, read by Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, be read for the second time. As well, second.
Yes. Honorable Fulata, you want to enlighten members? They're asking for enlightenment. Lead the debate. Go ahead. No, members are asking for
Sections 147, 151, 192, and 196 of the Constitution. These sections essentially deal with powers of appointment given to various leaders at the various arms of government. Members could recall that in the 8th Assembly, this House passed the Not Too Young to Run. This one seeks to enshrine into the Constitution the powers of inclusion of young persons and persons living with a disability. Let them be appointed into sensitive positions as ministers, as commissioners, as executive secretaries. We cannot limit them just to elected positions. Even when we give them powers, it is within this context that the Speaker thought it wise to promulgate, to push forward this very, very important bill that as commissioners and persons living with disability to hold sensitive positions in government.
Honorable Amanda.
I am Uzoma Nkem Abonta. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, seconding the motion, his remarks. Mr. Speaker, my concern is the Constitution is a holy document. It's a document that should be definitive. If we begin to put everything problem that we seek to able, capable person with disability to be appointed, this will be tying the hands of the executives. What percentage will be given to these people living with disability in the appointment? Is it 1%? Is it 2%? I know they will say it's for committee to agree. Mr. Speaker, there are certain things that ought to be a policy thing, not a constitutional issue. Mr. Speaker, disability varies from ranges: blindness, unable to walk, unable to rise, unable to hear. What type of disability are we talking about? We should think that conscientiously using our conscience to do goodness should be made as a policy. I've not seen any constitution, I've not read any constitution where it is enshrined that so persons, rather, they said there should be no discrimination. But putting it now, let it not look like as if anybody does not want people with disability. We all have them. We want to encourage them. Let there be a policy that will say they should be taken. Making it constitutional will be make overreach, overkilling. Let us pass a resolution that people with disability should be considered. Mr. Speaker, you once brought a lawyer into these chambers who did not allow, expecting to see that today he is heading one legal outfit somewhere. So we can't do to start that. I therefore urge my colleagues to work towards, who is in charge, who is presiding? Is it a Bofaleke or, Mr. Speaker, am I protected? Which mic? I'm of GRE,
I'm actually not sure if you are protected. The same way you don't want to protect the people with disabilities, you are not protected.
Mr. Speaker, I will call this one white male because I'm protecting disability. What I'm saying, let us rise up here today and resolve that people with disability who with competent capacities should be employed. I'm looking forward to that resolution. not here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Abonja. Since this is my bill, I'll just address one or two things that you mentioned. I wasn't going to contribute to the debate. You are arguing about policy as against a mandatory provision of the law. Policies come and go depending on the government. What we seek to do here is to protect the welfare of every citizen of Nigeria. Details of who is disabled, who is not, who is this, who is that. If you borrow from your constitution, as you have it already, you have the federal character provision in the constitution. But an offshoot of that provision in the constitution is the federal character law itself. So a law can be based on the amendment to the provision of the constitution, which takes care of your concern. So I'll just put the question. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say nay. Yeah. Ayes have it. Clerk, please, Longstreet.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1999 as amended to provide for inclusion of young persons and
Bill referred to the Special Ad hoc Committee on Review of the 1999 Constitution. Third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Agriculture, Akoko Edo, to make comprehensive provisions for its due management and administration and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Peter Akpatase. Honorable members will recall that the bill. He was here a minute ago. Honorable Akpatase.
Mr. Speaker, and my distinguished colleagues, I'm Comrade Peter Ohiozeja Patterson, representing Akoko Edo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I move that the bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Agriculture, Akoko Edo, to make comprehensive provisions for its due management and administration and for related matters. HB 1371 be read for the second time. I so move.
Honorable Munir.
My name is Honorable Munir Bobadan Agundi. I represent Kumbota Federal Constituency of Kano State. I hereby second the motion, second the bill as ably moved by the Deputy Majority Leader. I so move. I so second.
Okay. It's been seconded. I think it's straightforward, Honorable. It's an establishment bill, so we'll just put the question. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish Federal University of Agriculture, Akoko Edo, to make comprehensive provisions for its due management and administration and for related matters. Second reading.
Okay. Where did you put the question? Where were we? Huh? Okay, yes. Refer to the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions. Fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to establish the elite sheriff's corps to facilitate generation 2nd March 2021. And I invite Honorable Namdas to move that the bill be read a second time.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Abdulrazak Namdas. I represent the people of Gambia, Janda, Togo, Bello, from Adamawa State. Mr.
Honorable Namdas, why? Why you allow people to intimidate you? I consulted. Okay, step down. The fifth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended by changing the name of Lamode Local Government Area of Adamawa State to Bashama Local Government Area, and for later matters standing in the name of Honorable Kwamoti Bill Larry, Honorable
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Mr. Lowry is not on the floor. Mr. Speaker, I move that the second reading of the bill be stepped down by the leader of the House. So moved.
The bill step down. The sixth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to provide legal framework for promotion of research, study, investment, exploration, Samuel Mayowa Akifolari. Other members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 18th.
Ilẹ̀ Olújí Òkègbó Òdìgbò Federal Constituency. I am from the Sunshine State, Ondo. Arise to move a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Bitumen Development Commission of Nigeria, to provide a legal framework for the promotion of research, studies, investment, exploration, production, development, and utilization of locally sourced bitumen in Nigeria for related matters. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Adejari.
Thank you so much. I am still Honorable Dr. Samuel Babatunde Adejari, moved by my honorable colleague. Thank you, sir.
The ayes have it.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to provide legal framework for promotion of research, study, investment, exploration,
of agriculture, technical, Enugu, Anambra States to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in agricultural technology, agriculture, and to carry out due administration and management, and for later matters, starting in the name of Honorable Dozier Ferdinand Mwankwo. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 23rd March 2021, and I'll call on
Anocha Dunugofia Federal Constituency. I am from Anambra State. I rise to move that a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Agriculture Technical, Enugu, Anambra State, to provide full-time courses, teaching instruction, and training in agricultural technology, and to carry out its due administration and management, and for related matters, HB 1261, to be read a second time. I so moved.
Honorable Rurum.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Kamira Lassarurum. I I represent Ranobunko, the Chief Federal Constituency. The Speaker, I am from Kano. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my colleague. I so second.
Order, please. Order, please.
Thank you.
This is an establishment bill. I'll put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Agriculture Technical, Enugu, Anambra State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training on reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions. Eighth order of the day is a motion on call for the construction of a rural feeder roads and earth dams in Bauchi Federal Constituency of Bauchi State, standing in the name of Honorable Yakubu Shehu Abdullahi. Honorable Abdullahi.
My motion is for construction of rural road, feeder, and earth dams in Bauchi constituency. I so move. I am Honorable Yakubu Shehu, member representing Bauchi constituency.
No, I need it seconded. I need a seconder, but the mic seems to have frozen. Use that mic. Honorable Chawai. I'm having problems hearing your microphone. Well, just go ahead and second. Don't worry, your mic is not working. Go ahead and second.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Mukhtar Zakari Chawai. I represent Kauri Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. I rise to second the motion moved by my honorable colleague. I so second.
Okay, this is an infrastructure-related motion. So, Honorable Abubakar, I'll just put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. To Abadam, Guzamala, Kukawa, and Mobile local government areas of Borno State, starting in the name of Honorable Buka Ghana. Honorable Ghana is invited to move the motion. Zia. He's not here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. It seems Honorable Bukar Ghana is not on the floor. Mr. Speaker, I move that the motion be stepped down by the leader of the House. I so move.
Okay, is Honorable Abejide here?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, we're going to go straight to order item number 13. That's Honorable Ononuga's inclusion of health, dietary, and safety information and consumable products manufactured or imported into the country. Standing in the name of Honorable Adewumi Oriyomi Ononuga, Honorable Ononuga is invited to move the motion.
Oriyomi Ononuga. I represent the fabulously united people of Ikene, Shagamu.
Is Honorable Dao here? Magaji?
Remo North. I am from Ogun State. I stand to present a motion on the need to enforce compliance with the inclusion of health, dietary and safety information on consumable products manufactured or imported into the country. The House notes that the functions of the National Agency for Food and
Honorable Wokolo, is Honorable Wokolo here? Please approach the chair if you are here.
The House notes that the functions of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, as provided in its enabling act, are to regulate and control the importation, exportation, manufacture, advertisement, distribution, sale, and use of food, drugs, cosmetics, medical devices, bottled water, chemicals and detergents, regulated products, etc. And very importantly, to pronounce on the quality and safety of products after appropriate analysis. The House also notes that the Consumer Protection Council, now known as the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, is also saddled with the responsibility of surveillance, enforcement, and receiving complaint on matters that border on consumer dissatisfaction. The House is concerned of the increased decline in the level of enforcement by these regulatory bodies in ensuring that products, especially edible items, sold within the country carry reliable, verifiable, and sufficient dietary and nutritional information on the labels of the products. The House is also concerned that many Nigerians have unknowingly consumed foods that have caused on them serious health challenges because of false or misleading dietary information found on the products. The House recognizes the need, and cases of smuggling are still on the rise, to avoid Nigeria further being a dumping ground for all manner of products and perceived as a population of hungry people who would consume anything simply because it has been manufactured, especially abroad. The House resolves, Mr. Speaker, highly respected colleagues, the House resolves to mandate the Committee on Healthcare Services to investigate the level of compliance by NAFDAC, Customs, Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, Standards Organization of Nigeria, on the inclusion of healthy dietary and safety information on consumable products manufactured or imported in Nigeria. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
They just corrected.
Honorable Michelle.
Which clause now?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Dr. Haruna Michelia. I represent all the people of Askra Uba, Federal Constituency of Borno State. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Onanuga. I so second. Thank you.
I think you covered that thoroughly. Does anybody want to say anything? Honorable Isiaka, did you want to say something? Do you want to yield 30 seconds to Honorable Isiaka, then we put the question?
A wonderful motion, and in the essence, of course, Mr. Speaker, you know anything that concerns safety and health. People like us, we always give in to it. But unfortunately, I've seen something here with the batteries and the coordinate committees so listed by the, which of course I cannot alter, but I wish, Mr. Speaker, that I can amend that this be referred to a special committee to carry out this investigation and the public enlightenment. Mr. Speaker.
You are saying it requires a special committee?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Speaker.
Huh?
Yes, sir, Mr. Speaker. They listed about five agencies, Mr. Speaker, sir.
What are the agencies?
NAFDAC was listed.
NAFDAC is not a committee.
Customs, consumer protection, we have the standard organization, we have the health committee. Yes, 5 listed, Mr. Speaker.
5 is too many. Can we distill it to 2 or 3 committees? 5 is too many. NAFDAC comes under health, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yeah, I think it's really healthcare services, quite honestly. So let's just refer it to Committee on Healthcare Services.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Matter referred to Committee on Healthcare Services. The 15th order of the day is consideration of report of a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Police Academy as a degree awarding institution to provide academic and professional training and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Tuesday, 16 March 2021. The leader will move for its consideration.
Mr. Speaker, the Chairman, House Committee on the Police, has approached me and I observed some certain issues, and I wish to step down the consideration of the report till next week. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so the consideration of that particular bill is stepped down.
Yes, thank you.
16th order of the day is consideration of a report of the Ad hoc Committee on Petroleum Industry Bill on a bill for an act to provide legal governance, regulatory and fiscal framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry, the development of host communities, and for related matters 2021. Honorable members will recall that the report was laid on Wednesday, 30th of June 2021. Honorable Mohammed Tahir Mongunu will move for its consideration. Where is Honorable Mongunu? Honorable Mongono, where are you? The House Leader. Absent without leave. I think Honorable Mongono stepped outside. He was here a minute ago. He stepped outside to pray. He'll be back now. Oh, there he is.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we better allow him to come and bear his cross.
Yes. Honorable Mongono, come and answer your father's name.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Monguno. I represent Marte Monguno Ganze Federal Constituency of Borno State. I hereby move that the House do consider the report of the Ad-hoc Committee on Petroleum Industry Bill, or the bill for an act to provide the legal governance, regulatory and physical framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry, the development of host communities and for related matters, and approve the recommendations therein. I so move.
Honorable Kuga, you want to second? All right.
Mr. Speaker, I am Kiruka Onyejocha. I represent the good people of Isukwatu Mino, the federal constituency. I am from Abia State. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by the Chief Whip that the PIB bill should be considered. I so second.
Those in support of the motion, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. A is consideration of three reports of the Committee on Health Institutions. Honorable Pascal Obi will move for the consideration. Honorable Pascal is not here. You are standing in for him. Okay. Honorable Adejare.
Mr. Speaker, I still remain Honorable Dr. Samuel Watunde Adejare, representing the good people, wonderful people of Agege Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos State. I'm standing in for my chairman, Honorable Pascal Obi, and I move that this House will consider the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to provide the legal framework to establish Federal Medical Center, Igbora, Oyo State, and for related matters. I so move. Can I go and move the other two?
Yeah, move all three.
Okay. I also move that this House do consider the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to establish Federal Medical Center, Igbo, Oyo State, for related matters. And also move that we should consider the report of this committee on a bill for an act to establish Federal Medical Center, Mubi, Adamawa State, and for related matters. I so move.
Honorable Sejus. Okay. Honorable Benila, please second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Benila. I represent Lantan North and South. I wish to second this motion. Thank you.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. The 18th order of the day is consideration of report of the committees on information, national orientation, ethics and values, telecommunications, justice, information technology, and national security and intelligence on the federal government's suspension of the operations of the social media network Twitter in Nigeria. Honorable members will recall that the report was laid on Tuesday, 29 June 2021. Honorable Olusegun Odebumi Doku will move for its consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Odebumi Segun is my name. I represent the good people of Surulere and Goodman Federal Constituency. I rise to move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values, Telecommunications and Technology, Committee on Justice, Committee on National Security and Intelligence of the federal government suspensions on the operations of the social media network Twitter in Nigeria. Recommendation number 1. Okay. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Thank you. Is Honorable Chinda here? Honorable Ali?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I report as moved by my brother, Honorable Olusegun Odebumi. I so second. Thank you, sir.
Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Odebumi. Where's the report? You didn't send copies? Clerk, where are the copies of the reports? Please, let's quickly get copies of the reports. Very quickly, please. What are you pointing? Who are you pointing at? Just get copies of the reports, please. Leader here. We're about to move to Committee of the Whole to consider our reports, but the Deputy Speaker who's going to Chairman Business. Whilst we wait, can we just quickly go back to Honorable Henry's motion?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, I move that...
in charge of the business and rules, so it's up to you.
Yes, sir. Just for us to... I move that we rescind our decision in respect of item number 12 on the order paper. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Henry, please go ahead, quickly.
I rise to move a motion on the need to exercise caution in the implementation of the police directives on vehicles with tinted glasses. The House notes that on 7th of June 2021, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, issued a directive to the Commissioners of Police of the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Abuja, and Supervising Assistant Inspector Generals, AIGs, during a meeting with senior police officers to suspend the issuance of tinted glass permits and spy number plates pending the release of a new protocol that would regulate the issuance of tinted permits for vehicle owners and operators in the country. Aware that the overzealousness of some police officers has led them to harass and embarrass citizens with duly authorized tinted glass permits, which are currently in use. Also aware that the suspension, which is a temporary measure, has led them will remain in force pending the release of a new protocol that will regulate the issuance of tinted glass permits for vehicles, owners, and operators in the country. Concerned that most of the tinted glasses of vehicles are factory fitted by the manufacturers approved for purchase and license. Disturbed by the outcry of citizens over the undue harassment and intimidation by members of the Nigeria Police, even when they are in possession of authorization by the same Nigeria Police Force, the House resolves to 1. Urge the Inspector General of Police to clarify the policy with specific regard to factory-fitted tinted glasses. 2. Mandates the Committee on Police Affairs to invite the Inspector General of Police to clarify the issues relating to his directive to stop the extortion, threats, and harassment of Nigerian road users by men of the Nigerian force. I so move.
Right Honorable Speaker, my colleagues, my name is Gaza Jonathan Befi, and I represent the people of Karu.
Those in support, please say aye. Actually, please give us some flesh on this. We're trying to
tinted glass in Nigeria, but the directive also contained a proviso which says that if you are a Nigerian road user and you already are in possession of tinted glass, that will subsist until it expires. The idea being that obviously until they release a new set of guidelines. The issue that we're trying to highlight in this motion is the fact that there are vehicles that come with factory-fitted tinted glasses. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I remember 2 weeks ago traveling between Port Harcourt to Owerri, where I was stopped by the police at the checkpoint, and to my utter shock, I was asked to remove the factory-fitted tinted glass, and the argument was falling on deaf ears. I mean, the police people at the junction were either ignorant or just trying to take advantage of road users, and that they had packed a lot of vehicles at this point. And they were saying that we had to remove factory-fitted tinted glass and buy second-hand see-through glasses so that we're not in contravention of the directive for the Nigerian police by the Inspector General of Police. This motion seeks to highlight this issue so that the Nigerian police or the Inspector General of Police will come out with a very clear statement regarding factory-fitted tinted glasses, so that we know that cars that have been built in the last perhaps 10 years, some of them do have a shade of tint, one color or the other. And we want Nigerians not to be harassed by driving around in their factory-fitted tinted glasses and all of that. I do support that perhaps we do need clarity in terms of the set of guidelines and protocols to regulate the use of tinted glasses and spy number plates. But when it comes to a vehicle that has been purchased from the factory and it came with factory tinted glass, I do think there should be exceptions and clarity needs to be provided so that road users can go about without any fear of harassment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for asking me to contribute to this good motion brought. Mr. Speaker, factory tinted glasses or man tinted glasses at times are put for convenience, for health reasons, for convenience or reason of the vehicle. Mr. Speaker, there are people with disability in eyesight, and the sun affects the use of glasses. Mr. Speaker, there are persons that use tinted glasses not because they want to hide themselves. And I think that a blanket cover by Mr. IG is wrong. Rather, some people use tinted glasses for protection, politically exposed persons. Mr. Speaker, some people, after all, fold their plate numbers. These are certain things to protect political exposed persons. So putting that blanket cover, police is creating evil. It's not only, criminals don't even use tinted glasses. I should say that IG should put that tinted glasses should be possible to let you see a smoking but not see clearly. But some tinted glasses are so dark that you cannot see it. So they should be a modification, but it is not being used by police to extort money from persons. I think that the motion is in line. There should be interface with the IG so that we will know exactly. Police also uses tinted glasses. If Army uses tinted glasses, Custom uses tinted glasses. So all of them use it heavily. So is it like Animal Farm where they are fit to use tinted glasses, others are not fit? I don't want to narrate my own experience. If you're going down east some weeks ago, move with them. Therefore, I am not.
Honorable Sejus. Can somebody go and cite from the Deputy Speaker, please?
Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues, I'm Sejus Ose Ogun. I represent Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast, and I'm from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I am 100% in support of this motion because couple of months, last month really, I had an issue with my vehicle, and then I had escorts. They left the vehicle, the vehicle is tinted, and it came with factory tinted. So here I was in Abuja, and the driver was stranded there because the policeman said he should furnish consideration. Why should we even proceed further? You know, so I agree. The IG needs to come out clearly to say for the cars that came with factory tinted, it should be, and that we need another permit for that or something else. But just giving a blanket instruction or statement to allow the men in the checkpoint to begin to harass citizens is not good enough, especially not the times we are in right now. One provocation in any checkpoint can lead to anything. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, the PIB reports are here, so you can pick them up.
Honorable Isiaka, please let me pick up a copy. Leader of the House. Leader of the House, please move that the House dissolve the committee of the whole. Leader of the House, committee of the whole.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Al-Hassan Ado Dogwa is my name. Mr. Speaker, I represent the people of Tudunwada, Dogwa Federal Constituency. Honorable members, I'm from Kano State. I rise as directed by the Honorable Speaker to move that this House do resolve to the Committee of the Whole to consider reports. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Honorable Akpata Singh, please second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Comrade Peter Myozogia Singh. I represent the Akoko Federal Constituency. I second the motion that the House will dissolve the Committee of the Whole to consider report. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor, please say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. House dissolves Committee of the Whole. Respected colleagues, the first bill to consider is for an act to provide for legal governance, regulatory and fiscal framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry, the development of host community, and for related matters. I now invite Honorable Tahir Muguno to give the synopsis of the bill.
Honorable Chairman, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Muguno. I represent Marte Muguno, Ganzai Federal Constituency of Borno State. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, before I give memory being momentary, and it's a bill that goes to the root of our economy, because Nigeria is a mono economy that depends on oil for its survival. It behoves on us as the 9th House of Representatives to pass this bill so that our names will be written in gold in the annals of Nigerian history. Because by passing this bill, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, by passing this bill, the bill seeks to bring governance issues in the oil and gas industry in tandem with international best practice by unbundling, so that it will now metamorphose into NNPC Limited, so that its operation...
Honorable Makama, yes sir, and our other colleagues, Professor, yes sir, your attention is here.
So NNPC will now metamorphose into a limited liability company. It will be NNPC Limited, so that it will be run commercially and bring dividends to the Nigerian people. Again, this bill seeks to create a commission and also an authority in the oil and gas industry for the purpose of bringing governance to make it ameliorating the problem that we have in the oil producing communities with regard to degradation of their environment and water view. We also have a frontier exploration fund that is meant to explore for oil in the various gases that we have across the nooks and crannies of the country, with a view to bringing about more money into the Nigerian economy by the exploration and then the exploitation of this resource. Again, we also have a very good fiscal regime in the bill, with a view to making the Nigerian oil industry more competitive in tandem with the international best practice, and also attract more investment into the country in the oil and gas industry, because once this bill is passed into law, the oil industry will be much more competitive and much more transparent, and then it will attract more investment into the industry. So against this backdrop, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, we are on the verge of making history today, because the passage of this bill has eluded that our names will be written in gold in the annals of the Nigerian history. Thank you.
Plus one. 4, 5.
What is the meaning of in the government of the Federation of Nigeria?
6. 28, 30, 33, 36, 37, 41, 44, 48, 51, 53, 54, 55, 58, 60, 7, 68, 69, 70, 71, 3, 77, 9, 80, 1, 82, 6, 91, 4, 95, 6, 97, 99, 100, 1, 2, 104, 107, 109, 108, 110, 18, 19, 20, 1, 126, 30, 32, 5, 8, 39, 140, 1, 142, 44, 6, 50, 151, 153, 160, 1, 2, 3, 164, 165, 166, 67, 168, 9, 4, 178, 79, 1, 8, 9, 200, 190, 1, 3, 6, 194, 5, 97, and 304, 210, 211, 212, 13, 14, 15, 15, 15, 20, 4, 9,
Point of order. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
239?
240.
239.
Carry. Amendment 2.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, there is amendment to section 240, subsection 2. Each state law where applicable through the operator shall make an annual contribution to the applicable host community development trust fund of an amount equal, my mic is on, of an amount equal to 5% of the actual operating expenditure in the immediately preceding calendar year in respect of all petroleum operations affecting the host communities for which the applicable host community.
Huh? This is the agreement now. This is the agreement. Yes, sir. Shh. Shh. Come on. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I remain Honorable Benjamin Okize Carlo. I represent the good people of Nigeria, starting from Ben, the Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, I'm from Abia State. I rise to second the motion for the amendment that was moved by the chairman of the ad hoc committee in the person of the chief whip of this honorable house, that section 240, subsection 2, and the figure there, 2.5%, be deleted and replaced by 5%.
Thank you.
I say second.
Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. 14 as amended. 14 as amended. $235. 2 for 249. 250. 254. These are carried. You carry also. 257. 64. Is it 300? Huh? $270. Seven. $286. 290. 298. 301. 302. 304. 305. 306. 307. 308. 309. 300. 311. 302. 314. 312, 313, 315, 316, 18, 319. 319. Have you checked your book again? What is in 319? Well done. The schedules. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable colleagues. Mr. Chairman, I just to underscore the point earlier made by Honorable Mongono, the chairman of this committee, in his intro. I want to underscore how big what this House has just done is. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, in underscoring how big what we have just done today, because it has been 20 years coming, I want to commend the 74 wise men whose work product has now become the work product of 360 wise men. I want to commend these men and women for their commitment, their industry, their scholarship in producing this 319 or 318 section law. It was no mean feat at all. And history, this House, this Ninth Assembly, will be recorded on the right side of history. Mr. Chairman,
In the next couple of weeks, we're going on our summer vacation. Even with this pace of landmark legislation, we're going out on a high. And I believe in the coming week, the electoral amendment will follow suit. And I believe by the time we're done on the 14th, irrespective of what side of the divide you are on, this House would have done the 9th Assembly and the Nigerian people proud. So thank you very much, honorable colleagues, for what you have done today. God bless you all.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, we so much appreciate. And I think thank you for the cooperation too. May God bless all of us. Thank you. Respected colleagues, the third bill to be considered, the second bill to be considered is for an act to provide for the legal framework to establish Federal Medical Center, Igboro, Oyo State, and for related matters. Now invite Honorable Pascal Obi to give the synopsis of the report. Honorable Pascal.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, I am Honorable Dr. Samuel Babatunde Adejare. I represent wonderful people of Agege Federal Constituency. I am representing the chairman of Health Institutions Committee, Honorable Obi Pascal. Mr. Chairman, before us, the report before us is the report on the bill to establish the Federal Medical Center, Mobi Adamawa State. This is one of the instruments that we have.
Please take your seat. Honorable Nasiru Aliame, take your seat.
My brother, the one to be considered is that of Ogboro. Would consider Adama after this one.
Adama?
In that sequence. No, Igbora. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
To our people. It's about health is human rights to everybody. So, creating that medical center will help bring medical care to the grassroots and to people of Igbora. When the center is created, it will equip and maintain and operate the center so as to provide facilities for diagnosis, curative, promotive, and rehabilitative service in medical treatment. And it also construct, equip, maintain, and operate such training schools and similar institutions with a proper staff and research or experimental stations and other like institutions as the center might consider necessary. So, sir, I present to you the report of the health institution.
Thank you. Clause 1. Nobody here. Nobody here. No correct. Give me another one. $14. $18. Explanatory memoranda. Colleagues, the third bill to consider is to be considered for an act. You go home, Oyo Center, And for later matter, now invite Honorable Pascal to give the synopsis of the bill.
Mr. Chairman, sir, I still remain Honorable Dr. Samuel Babatunde Adejare, representing the wonderful people of Agege Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos State. I'm representing my chairman, Honorable Pascal Obi, who is unavoidably absent. Like I just said earlier, sir, we are considering the report of the Health Institution Committee for a bill to establish Federal Medical Center Igboho. This center, when established, will be one of the instruments that this country will be using to provide universal health coverage for our people. The center will be in a position to construct and build institutions and clinics and training centers that will help in serving our people and meeting their health needs on the tertiary level. I so submit, sir. Thank you.
Carry 5 pages. 5 pages. 5 pages, but you have no pages.
Colleagues, plus one. Eight. What we have is movie. $12. $19. $28. The schedules. Long explanatory memoranda. The fourth bill to consider is for an act to establish Federal Medical Center Mubi Adamawa and for related matters. I now invite Honorable Pascal to give the synopsis of the bill.
Mr. Chairman, I still remain Honorable Dr.
Order, please. Order, please. Honorable Coco, take your seat.
I still remain Honorable Dr. Samuel Babatunde Adejare. I represent the wonderful good people of Agege Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos State. I'm representing my chairman, Honorable Obi Pascal of the Health Committee, Committee on Health Institutions. The report before us...
Abonta, take your seat, please. Honorable Abonta. Honorable Pray, take your seat.
Is for the bill to establish the Federal Medical Center, Mubi Adamawa State. This is one of the cardinal ways this country will be bringing health care and universal health coverage to our people at the grassroots level. It's a tertiary institution and it will also be empowered to build and create hospitals and clinics and institutions to help in functioning. So, I so submit, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Plus one. 2. 4. $28, $29, So about what? Let's take the one for 28, so that if there's any mistake, you don't include it. 27. Memoranda. Which one again? Colleagues, the next is the report to be considered is that of Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values, Telecommunication, Justice, Information, Technology, and National Security and Intelligence on the federal government's suspension of the operation of the social media network Twitter in Nigeria. I now invite Honorable Olugbemi Dokun to give the synopsis of the report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable colleagues, Odebo Michelle is my name. I represent this Surulere local government and Ogoluwa federal constituency. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleague, you will recall that on the 4th of June 2021, the Minister of Information and Culture announced the immediate suspension of the operation of the social media network Twitter in Nigeria. And on the Tuesday, June 21, as of representative via the Speaker's remarks on suspension, justice, information, communication technology, and national security. 2. Immediately commence the investigation to determine the circumstances and decisions by the federal government of Nigeria to suspend the operations of the Twitter in Nigeria, and the legal authorities of the suspension on the operations of the Twitter in Nigeria. To invite the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, to brief the House of Representatives on the objective, intent, and durations of the suspension of the Twitter in Nigeria. The Joint Committee conducted an investigation hearing on Tuesday, 22 June 2021, with the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture in audience to brief the committee on the objectives of the intent and durations of the suspension of the Twitter in Nigeria. There are findings, and at the end of the findings, the Joint Committee recommended: 1, the time be allowed for the federal government of Nigeria and Twitter to enter into the dialogue process.
Honorable Chairman.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I would beg that we step down this report. First, go through the last page. There is no single member that have signed this report.
No. Honorable Chairman, maybe when we are looking for the report, they went to.
This is the one I have before me.
Sir, I said they went to print the soft copy. The original copy led to the floor was signed. And I have the copy of the signed copy here.
You want me to work with
Honorable Chairman, honorable colleagues, recommendation number one, that the time be allowed for the federal government of Nigeria and Twitter to enter into dialogue process that is already ongoing so as to create room for amicable settlement of on the matter. Recommendation number two, relevant government institutions such as National Broadcasting Commission, the Nigeria Communication Satellite, etc., should be alive to their mandate by doing the needful to avoid it on the platform for their livelihood. The federal government should be proactive in the interface with the Twitter so as to come up with the timely resolutions on the matter. Freedom of expression is not absolute anywhere in the world. This is because security and freedom of expression sometimes present contending interests. Therefore, national security must be guaranteed. Government should always communicate better with the Nigerians when critical decisions are to be taken. I so submit, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, why did you engage the National Security Advisor in this in your interface? Did you engage the National Security Advisor? Yes, sir. From the mandate given to you, is not only the minister. That's why you have. I'm looking at part of the recommendations. That's why you have other chairmen that are supposed to be part of you because of that reason. Those chairmen are chairman on communication, the ICT, and the chairman of the security, national security and intelligence. You have them there because it borders on security, it borders on other sector too. So that we don't rush to do things. This is a parliament.
Yeah. All of the committee chairmen were in the committee on national security is not even available, but it makes somebody to represent him. And the committee on justice was available too. Every committee chairman was represented, and the members of the committee were there.
I want to beg that.
Resume your seat. Nobody should approach the Speaker. Honorable Femi Bajabia-Mila now.
You see, it's your recommendation that is making me to ask questions. And if we are passing recommendation on a decision taken by our government that affects international relationship, bordering on security and whatever are the laws, we should be able to explore first all the avenues in terms of our investigation before we come back to the floor.
Yes.
That's my take. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, like I said, our mandate is to find out the legal backing of the federal government to suspend the Twitter, which was the NBC was the agency that was pronounced the suspension, and it was also invited. And we are not making any judgment on this recommendation if you go through it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable colleagues, my name is Toby Okechukwu and I represent an area of Wojiriba Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Chairman, the motion regarding Twitter, they had very clear instructions on what to do. Decision by the federal government of Nigeria to suspend the operations of Twitter in Nigeria. The legal authority for the suspension on the operations of Twitter in Nigeria. Invite the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Alai Mohammed, to brief the House of Representatives on the objectives, intent, and duration of the suspension of Twitter in Nigeria. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, none of the 5 recommendations have answered any of the questions. Recommending for creation of an amicable room for a room for amicable settlement speaks to no issue. That relevant government institutions as National Broadcasting Commission, Nigerian Communication Satellite, etc., should be alive to their mandate by doing. Furthermore, that the federal government should take into cognizance the negative effect of the Twitter suspension on Nigerians who depends on the platform for their livelihood. Take cognizance of what they have taken cognizance. So we should be responding to what the parliament have asked you to do. There should be a ban or no ban, and there should be an anchor, a basis for it. So the committee has not done a prudent work because they've not asked Parliament to take any resolution on this matter. So it speaks to no issue. Asking government on the 6 recommendation, government should always communicate, communicated better with Nigerians when critical decisions are to be made. What does that mean? So, Mr. Chairman, I will say that this report should go. Should not be considered. Because as a matter of fact, when you look at it properly, the same breaches or no breaches, the same regulations that should be guiding Facebook, that should be guiding other social media handles, are the ones that will guide Twitter. So I think that the competition on these other social media groups.
If you go through the findings from this South African something like that, I saw it there. They quoted the section that empowered the federal government to do that. But I thought they should put the report seasonally addressing the issues that were raised in the prayers of the motion, and yes. That's why I was made to ask. Yes, sir. Okay.
Points based on the mandate that was given to the committee. For the avoidance of doubt, I will read the circumstances of the, maybe not in copious language, addressed of Twitter in Nigeria. Of June 2021 with the Honorable Minister of Print, and we all saw it. I think it is uncharitable, almost disingenuous, to come and try and lampoon the work done by the committee. Whatever side of the minister has reiterated the laws upon which he operated. Now, if you go to the recommendations which Honorable Toby has a problem with, not be as straight to the point. You can put in your own. Let us know, be cognizant of the fact that the issue of Twitter, or this particular issue, is unusual. It's not your clear-cut, whatever it involves, it's internet. From when I read the recommendation, did not do certain things which they, by all means, you have a right there. There is a doubt. So, if you have a recommendation, or you are not satisfied with this particular recommendation, then amend it. We just finished it. This is what we do with reports here. We don't send, we are past that stage where we begin to play to the gallery or try to do. No, amend what you have to amend. Bring a more forthcoming recommendation if there is any need. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. So that you don't give them the cover, and tomorrow we'll run into problem. We may run into problem because, like on the matter that have been raised, I was the first to raise the matter, and I'm convinced beyond reasonable doubt that truly they need to have exhaustive minister. Does not stop them. I still want, excuse me, person very active. It's not. It is not. No, please. If you have issues, I am not.
Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, they have made their own recommendations. What I want to suggest, Mr. Chairman, let us, for example, let us consider what they have already submitted. Naturally, that is not on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry I preempted, I stood up before you. But sometimes, Speaker, you get a privilege. That's a privilege. Now, let me just say this. Mr. Chairman, I totally agree with you that some jobs may not be exhaustive. It happens. And we've had reports like that. But who determines what exhausts? Some people will say you should even go beyond. Who determines? Once we have given a committee a mandate, and that mandate is even restrictive. Unfortunately, the committee should have expanded and gone beyond and said, okay, look, NSA, let's invite NSA. But we must also understand, Mr. Chairman, that that mandate had a time limit of 10 or 3 weeks. There's got to be a beginning and an end to a vacation. So it's important that even though they may not have exhausted all, that they have. I believe that they have. So I don't think there's anything else. There's anything else that the NSA announced the suspension.
Mr. Chairman, when seek point equal authority in the motion, again, committee, Mr. Chairman, let me have my own talk. The ruling is yours. Mr. Chairman, the chief law officer of this country, we invited the Minister of Information, who announced the ban, to explain to us the circumstances. And the same minister that was...
Thank you very much, Deputy Chairman. Answer of this, you could have stated clearly said that when the Nigerian government acted was in line with social section and their action is in order. You didn't make that statement. Please.
Have been made is that the word by the chairman was on the circumstances. It does not mean the opinion of the minister, who had already made his opinion known when he banned Twitter. Mr. Chairman, it would have been prudent to express how the is that the minister already know his opinion before he's coming. The legal authority, which is the person you invited, and that is what we are making reference to here. There is no other legal.
Chairman.
Now that we have a legal framework that have exonerated the government, it was supposed to mention clearly that the government acted in good faith and in line with provision of so as a finding. These are the things that I thought we should be discussing, so that yes, we have done this, but the issue is that did the government act in good faith? Was it in line with the constitution?
What of us social media?
No. Clearly state that the government acted in good faith.
Is Babangida Ibrahim one. Now at the end of it, and they now say it's ongoing. So there's contradiction to enter and ongoing. So I want to amend that the time be allowed for the federal government of Nigeria and Twitter to continue the dialogue process, which is ongoing. To continue the dialogue process, which is ongoing, because...
No.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleague.
Amendment saying, against the recommendation 2.
Yeah, recommendation. And should therefore...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my dear colleagues. Engineer Solomon, I rise to second that we include
the next amendment. The question 3 to plan to report
report progress.
Against nay, say nay. The committee of the whole, the host communities, and for later ban to 319. Consider the report on the Committee on Health Institutions on the bill for an act to provide for the legal framework to establish the federal medical center. The schedule, the explanatory memorandum, and committee of the whole considered respectfully, the House and the Commission, Information and Technology, report accordingly. Leader, I move for the adoption of the Deputy Leader.
Thank you. I rise to second the motion that the reports be adopted. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, adjournment.
You adjourn.
Once again, I second the motion as moved by the Leader of the House that this House do adjourn to Tuesday, 6th of June by 11 o'clock. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Are you very sure?
Sorry, July.
11 a.m.